everyone, welcome back to the Codebreakers series, and this episode we're going to be looking at both characters made by Will Lamb, those being the Ninja and Lavender. So, let's go. So the first of the two characters that Will Lamb has made in this game is the Ninja, which comes from the popular game series on Scratch by the same name, making the Ninja a titular protagonist. Here are his moves, or their or her. I'm pretty sure the gender's up for interpretation. Anyway, regular attack is just a katana swipe. It does deal 1.8 damage, so that's not too bad. There's a double katana swipe in the air that can hit twice, since it's a double katana swipe. And there's a continuous attack that, as long as you're holding down M, it just keeps going. Then, he's another ammo swapping character. So, he's got shurikens, he's got bombs, and he has arrows. Moving on to Lavender, who is the protagonist of the series by Will Lamb, Fight Fire with Fire, which is considerably less popular. Her moves are as follows. Regular, just a lighter. Air attack is fireworks. Down M is an overpowered laser. M is a continuous flamethrower. As long as you hold it down, it just keeps going. And down M is a gasoline sling. So just want this cube to get in the right position. My god. Yeah, the gasoline has a sweet spot where it can hit. That's going to be involved in the strategies later. But first, let's look at the ninjas. So, some good strategies for the ninja. One of the ninja's main features is that all of their N attacks, and pardon that was a visual glitch, can reflect projectiles, whether it be bombs, Papa's bullets, or, I don't know, even, I can't think of a good example, ice blasts. Yeah, ice blasts. So, use that to your advantage. If you're playing against a projectile character, just hold that, and none of the projectiles will be able to hit you. They'll all be reflected. Of course, that'll leave you open to other moves as well, but, like, you gotta have strategies. So this is a good attack for that kind of thing. It's also a good attack for getting opponents out of your face. This is just, in general, not a bad move if you want to get some hits in, but shurikens deal 0.3 something damage each, and I think it's just supposed to add up to 1 damage total. And they're good projectile all around. Down M to bombs. Bombs you can lob like this, but since a bomb is a projectile, you can also reflect it. It's kind of hard to get it to go where you want it to, but I'm not going to put in the time to learn how to do that. Just doing this is a much better strategy. Then finally, arrows. Apart from dealing just a bit more damage overall than the shurikens, and dealing just a little bit of stun, they're useless. Especially if your opponent gets up in your face while you're charging it, then nothing happens. I mean, you could theoretically, like, try to stun lock them, but it won't work. Anyway, yeah, the arrows are trash. There aren't a lot of strategies, honestly, for the ninja. I feel like this is another all-rounder character where you should just make your own. Lavender, on the other hand, has two very clear strategies. Obviously, you can go around, smite people with a laser, you can burn them a ton, but the two main attacks that you have will be the fireworks and the gasoline sling. So, we'll look at the gasoline sling in a moment, because I quite like that strategy, but first, your air attacks can be chained indefinitely so long as you're not holding the up key and moving at the same time. So, holding an up key and an arrow will make this less long, or just disable you from doing it entirely. But if you stop holding up and just press the arrow keys while spamming M, you get this kind of jetpacky feature, which is pretty cool if you ask me. This attack does stale after a while, but it does actually also hit the enemy twice. Once when it's in rocket form and once when it's in explosion form. So try doing that for optimal damage if you can. It's not exactly easy to pull off, but you can do it. Especially since the first hit will generally cause them invulnerability, so they miss the second one. Anyway, the other strategy is gasoline slinging. Now, for this to be a good strategy, you need to become a professional gasoline slinger. And I don't mean just the normal kind of gasoline slinger that you see every day on the street. No, I mean a professional gasoline slinger who can hit the sweet spot where the gasoline explodes every single time. If you need some help, just use the flamethrower, get your opponent the right distance away, and then just sling gasolines at them indefinitely until they go up in flames, just like the gasoline did. And also leaves lingering fire, so that's cool. Anyway, AI battles.
Start battle.
The first battle that we're gonna get into is the ninja versus Chirpy. It's actually a pretty heated match, as Chirpy will generally try to interrupt your longer moves, as well as fairly easily dodge your less long moves. Your N attacks are pretty reliable here, though if you're lucky you can get some really good hits in with your projectiles as well. Also, one thing to keep in mind that both of his side dodges, the aerial one and the ground-based one, are more like slides than dodges. So that is a useful fact that may help you. Okay, I've gotten some good projectile hits in this run. You know what? I kind of sometimes underestimate the arrows. They're good for stunning your opponent, I guess. Finish him up with the staple weapon of the series. Yeah, I can do that. There we go. It's not a hard battle once you get used to it, but I'd still be careful.
Start battle.
Another fun battle to practice with the ninja is versus Mushby, the other ninja in the roster. It's not particularly hard, but with Mushby's agile style, you might have to adapt with a few different projectiles as well. Though, Mushby is generally not too hard to fight when you fight his AI, and that's a shame because his AI is actually really, or no, not his AI, but his character is actually really good, and it's kind of a shame that the AI doesn't play him that well. Though, not exactly, I couldn't say the AI is playing him wrong due to the amount of damage that he's doing to me. I guess there are some good qualities about the AI he has, but just not good enough. But yeah, it's a pretty fun battle to practice if you want to give it a try.
Must be. Wins. Start battle.
Alright, this one on the contrary is nothing close to easy. It is a pretty
Lavender.
tough battle. Gasoline slinging will get you some of the way there, but honestly, you have to try harder than that. Luckily, some of Neural's attacks do give that quite a bit of knockback, so you might be knocked into the air with quite a long use of gasoline jetpacking, but it is not enough to beat Neural. He is pretty tough in this battle. Just pretty tough in the AI in general. It doesn't play him badly. It doesn't play him perfectly either, but it plays him good enough that he can shred a lot of things, including me. But luckily I did better on this time.
Lavender wins. Start battle.
The other battle I'll recommend for Lavender is against Stick and Birdie. The main thing that makes it challenging is that Stick and Birdie is going to try to combo lock you and also get you really close to them. So we can't have that, can we? No, we want to gasoline combo them from afar, but they will continuously chase us down, trying to prevent us from doing this. As any sane person would, because most people don't want to get exploded by gasoline on a daily basis. Unfortunately, that's just the life of some of these Codebreakers characters. It's a shame, but what can you do, to stop gasoline from being exploded on your noggin? Okay, I'll admit, I'm doing way better than I did on the practice rounds for this battle. Never mind, I'm currently dying. But they are currently dying even more! Dang it. Dang you! Dang you, Stick and Birdie, die! I didn't mean that. Stick and Birdie's actually a really cool character.
Lavender
But
wins.
with that large, obscene amount of gasoline, our episode is wrapped up. So, practice these characters, get good at them, and have a nice day, y'all.